Hello everyone, welcome back to Kiran's English Hub. So we are continuing with the summaries of English. So we are in ninth class now. So we shall go through ninth class Unit 1 today. So this is the cover page, textbook cover page of ninth class here. So we see Shakespeare, different poets, different famous personalities in the world. Yeah, we see the contents of the units, which includes of 8 units here, again consisting of 3 readings each. So in unit 1 we have 3 readings. Reading A is the snake and the mirror, reading B the duck and the kangaroo, reading C little Bobby. So first unit theme is humor. Okay, as we see on the screen, first unit's theme is humor. Okay, humor in the sense it is some type of comic presentation in the story or in a lesson or even in a poem, which usually gives us some type of pleasure when we listen to that particular comic stanzas or comic lines. Okay, and that is also just like a personification. In the figure of speech we call it as a personification, where this type of humor is produced when like the human qualities are given to animals or non-human things. Okay, let us see what is the reading A. The reading is the snake and the mirror. So with the title we see that we are coming across two contents here. One is a snake and the mirror. Let us see what is the relationship between them and what goes on. So this is the first page of it. So with this picture also we understand that usually cats do not play chess, yes or no? So but they are playing chess here, which is actually a human thing. Let us see further. So it is again humor, the heading. Look at the picture and answer the questions that follow. So we have few questions here. What would have prompted the monkey to look at its own reflection in the mirror? In the sense, what made monkey to do like this? What made monkey to see the reflection in the mirror, reflection of itself in the mirror? Okay, just like we can see that it is dressed in just like humans. Okay, with the t-shirt, with the pant. You can also see it lips with little bit of pinkness. We can even call it as a lipstick. Okay, yeah. Next, what would be the monkey thinking at this point? Okay, what could be the monkey be thinking at this point? Okay, just like human beings it might have thought, just I have, oh very my I'm losing my hair. Okay, this is not a very not good touch up. Okay, all these things we can just imagine the picture there. Okay, next we have oral discourse speech as a role of humor in our life. Okay, how the humor plays a role in our life. Okay, so that is a speech, that is a classroom activity. Next, we have the blog letters. We have a sentence there. Now read the story in which a doctor describes a snake that looks into a mirror. Okay, now we have a story, very interesting story, a story which is of humor, in which a doctor describes a snake and that looks into a mirror. Okay, a snake which usually looks into a mirror. Usually it is not possible for snake to just like look into the mirror and dress up and get ready for itself. But we shall see what the writer has given, what qualities the writer has given to this snake here. So we shall quickly get into the text. So we can see here, reading A, the snake and the mirror. Yeah, let me zoom it a little bit for you. Yeah, so has a snake ever coiled itself around any part of your body? A full bodied cobra? So direct, the first line is somewhat terrific. What is it? Has a snake ever coiled in the sense, just like making a round around something with its body. Okay, just like anaconda, that is called as coiling. So coil itself around your body. Okay, did it? So viewers, if at all you have come across that type of situation, just write a hit a like there. Next, a full bodied cobra, full blooded cobra. Okay, blooded cobra in the sense it is not completely blooded, a dangerous cobra. Okay, full blooded cobra and a dangerous cobra. Okay, any dangerous cobra did do that like that? All of us fell silent. The question came from the homeopath. The topic came up when we were discussing snakes. Okay, so when they were all discussing snakes, though this topic has come in between, and this was a statement from a corner. So we listened attentively as the doctor continued with the tale. So the doctor is a homeopath. Okay, so he was telling all this tale in the sense story, what happened, this everything and all. So everybody was just like stunned when he asked that question, and everybody were listening very carefully. Okay, yeah. So it was a hot summer, right about 10 o'clock. I had my meal at the restaurant and returned to my room. I heard a noise from above as I opened the door. So it was the season is hot summer, and it was 10 o'clock in the night. So he had meal at restaurant and returned to his room, and he heard some type of noise from above in the sense from his roof of the home, and when he opened his door. So the sound was a familiar one in the sense which is the usual one, which is the habitual sound. One could say that the rats and I shared the room. I took out my box of matches and lighted the kerosene lamp on the table. So, if anybody just visits his room, they can say that the rats and he in the sense the doctor were sharing the room. You can see in the picture itself, you can see rats here. I think this is also a rat there. Okay, I'm not sure about it. Okay, so you can see all those rats there. So just looking at the state of the room, we can understand that this particular doctor is sharing the room with rats. And as soon as he entered, he took out some matches in the matchbox, matchsticks, and he lighted the kerosene lamp on the table. Kerosene lamp, you can see here that he has a kerosene lamp. Okay, that is used in the olden days when there was no electricity. The house was not electrified. Okay, there was no electrified in a sense. It was a small rented room. Okay, so he used to stay in the rented room. I had just set up medical practice and my earnings were major. Okay, so here not major in the sense, it's not, it was it was not his own house. It was not his own house. So he was just starting his medical practice, and his not only earnings were not that much high. So I had about 60 rupees in my suitcase. Okay, he just had only 60 rupees. In those days 60 rupees is very high. So along with some shirts and dhotis, I also possessed in the sense owning something. Okay, having something, possessed one solitary black coat which I was then wearing. Okay, so he also had one solitary white coat. Okay, solitary in the sense a single, only one black coat. Sorry, not white, that is black coat. Solitary in the sense only single black coat when he was which he was wearing at that time. Okay, so this story happened when he was little bit young. He was explaining all this later. Okay, so I took off my black coat, white t-shirt, and not so white vest. Okay, white vest in the sense you can see here on the screen. So this is white vest on my, yeah, this one. So that is white vest. Okay, that just like we call it as banyan in Telugu. Okay, yeah. So he had taken off his coat, he taken off his shirt, and uh, white vest which is not that much white, and hung them up. Okay, just hang them up. Next, I opened the two windows in the room. It was an outer room with one wall facing the open yard. Okay, you can see the two windows facing the open yard. Next, it had a tail roof with long supporting cables that rested on the beam over the wall. There was no ceiling. Okay, so this one, so you can see that long strides here. So this one, he was explaining all about his room. So these are called as long beams, and finally it rested on the wall. So this is wall here, so it is rested on the wall there. Next, there was no ceiling. Okay, there was no ceiling, concrete ceiling. Next, there was a regular traffic of rats to and from the beam. Okay, so rats usually, regular traffic in the sense coming and going. So they used to come, they used to go. Okay, they travel on that always. They travel on that beam. Okay, next, I made my bed and pulled it close to the wall. I lay down, but I could not sleep. I got up and went out to the veranda for a little air, but the wind god seemed to have taken time off. Okay, so he then when he took off the shirt and that white vest, that coat, he just wanted to take some rest. So he just pulled his bed near the window, and he finally wanted somewhere. So since he could not get air, he even went to sleep in a veranda in the sense the space in front of the house. Okay, but there was no wind also, and explained it saying the wind god seemed to have taken time off, in the sense the wind god had taken some break. Okay, just imagine the expression there. So I went back into the room and sat down on the chair. So I opened the box beneath the table and took out a book, the Materia Medica, that is related to medicine. So I opened it at the table on which stood the lamp and and a large mirror. A small comb lay beside the mirror. So you can see here. So since he could not sleep there, he came back. He sat in that chair. He took out a book from his drawer, and he started reading. And there was a mirror in front of him and a small comb also. Let's see what happened. Let us see. So one feels tempted to look into a mirror when it is near. Of course, everybody seems to look into the mirror whenever there is mirror. Okay, so I heard this. I would like to mention a little story which I heard in my childhood somewhere. There was a uh, very much huge business in one shop. I don't exactly remember what shop it is, which type of shop it is, but the owner could not afford any new area. Okay, could not move into new area. There were a lot of women rushing to his something shop like that. So what he did was, he kept some mirrors. Okay, when the people enter to his shop, he kept some mirrors in front of his shop. So because of that, the woman used to wait sometime at the mirror, and the people who come inside, the shopkeepers used to immediately complete the work with the customers, and they used to send them. So if there was no mirror, the people directly come inside and it will become so much of rush. Okay, uh, so because of that, he gets some mirror, so everybody is attracted to mirror usually, right? So I took a look. Okay, so he also took a look, the doctor. So in those days, I was a great admirer of beauty, and I believed in making myself look handsome. Okay, so admirer in the sense the one who loves beauty. So he was also admired in the beauty when he was very young. So he also believed in making himself look handsome. So he also usually does some type of like belly cream, like we do now, like Fair and Handsome. Okay, all those things he used to do, some things which make him beautiful in those days. Now we have all those things. Yeah, I was unmarried and was a doctor. I felt I had to make my presence felt. So since he was young and he was not unmarried, so he should make himself presence. Okay, if a married guy need not to make any presence because he is already married and busy with earnings and all, but this guy is still young, bachelor, so he needs some presence by people. So I picked up the comb and ran it through my hair and adjusted the parting so that it looked straight and neat. Again I heard that sound from above. So as soon as he thought that, he combed his hair little bit, and just he made it straight and all. So again he heard that sound in the sense the rat sound, something he heard. So I took a close look at my face in the mirror. I made up an important decision. Oh my God, see here. So he took a very important decision by looking at the camera, this one mirror. I would shave daily and grow a thin mustache to look more handsome. I was, after all, a bachelor and a doctor. So he decided to make himself more handsome because he was a bachelor and he was also doctor. And a doctor is always visited by so many people regularly, different people. So he wants to make some, handsomeness to his face. So I looked into the mirror and smiled. It was an attractive smile. I made another earth shaking decision. I would always keep that attractive smile on my face to look more handsome. I was, after all, a bachelor and a doctor too, on top of it. Okay, so he also made another decision. What was it? So as soon as he combed his hair, he just looked into the mirror and smiled. And looking at the smile, he decided one more thing. What was the decision? He took a decision to keep or to wearing in a sense, not seriously wearing it. Okay, he took an oath to keep smile always on his face. Okay, because he was also a bachelor and a doctor, he mentioned that again. Okay, because we can say that he is very proud of being bachelor. Again came the noise from above. So again there was a noise from above. So he thought that there were rats. So I got up, lit a beedi. Okay, beedi in the sense, actually we have cigarette now. Okay, people smoke cigarettes. In those days it was called beedi. And paced up and down the room. Okay, so he just lit a beedi. He just had a little bit of smoke and placed somewhere. Then another lovely thoughts struck me. I would marry. I would get married to a woman who had plenty of money and a good medical practice. She had to be fat for a valid reason. Okay, so if he also decided to get married, and he has some specification. What was it? He wanted to marry a fat girl. There is a reason for that. Okay, he has a reason for that. Let us see. If I made some silly mistake and need to run away, she should not be able to run after me and catch me. Okay, so the silly mistake, the silly reason was, if he makes some type of silly jokes like this right now he is making, so the woman should not run behind him and catch him and beat him. So because of that he wanted to marry a fat woman who cannot run. Next, with such thoughts in my mind, I resumed my seat in the chair in front of the table. Again, he sat in front of the table after thinking all of that. So there were no more sounds from above. Okay, so after that there were no more sounds. Suddenly there came a dull third in the sense sound, thug like that. Okay, so third, as if a rubber tube had fallen to the ground. Okay, suddenly there was a huge sound. It was just like a rubber tube has fallen from the sky. Okay, so surely nothing to worry about. Even so, I thought I would turn around and take a look. Okay, so it wanted to actually turn around and take a look. No sooner had I turned than a fat snake wriggled over the back of the chair and landed on my shoulder. So as he wanted to just turn around and take a look, what happened? There was a snake. Okay, there was a snake wriggled in the sense creeping above, coming above. Okay, that is called as wriggling. And it landed in the sense it waited, or it just took place on his shoulder. The snake's landing on me and my turning were simultaneous. Okay, so since the snake landed, or the since snake is on him, his turning were simultaneous, all simultaneous in the sense at a time, as the exact time he turned, the exact time the snake was on his shoulder. Okay, next. I did not jump, I did not tremble, I did not cry out. Okay, so since the snake was on him, he did not shout, he did not cry, he did not tremble in the sense shake. Usually we shiver when we see the snake, no? So that is called as tremble. So there was no time to do any such thing. The snake slithered along my shoulder and coiled around my left arm above the elbow. So slithered in the sense moving from up to down. Okay, up to down. The snake was moving from his shoulder to his left arm and made a round around his left arm. The hood was spread out and its head was hardly 3 or 4 inches from my face. Okay, so as the snake coiled around his left arm, the snake's head also a little bit only far. Okay, it is nearly 3 to 4 inches. Just imagine, just like your finger. Okay, just like your index finger, 3 to 4 inches. That only that much difference is there between his face and the face of the snake. I would not be correct to say merrily that I sat there holding my breath. Okay, so he was just holding his breath and sitting there. I was turned to stone in the sense he was not moving at all. He was just sitting like a stone. But my mind was very active. Okay, so though he was sitting like a stone, his mind was very much active. The door opened into darkness. The room was surrounded by darkness. In the light of the lamp, I sat there like a stone image in the flesh. Okay, everything was dark around him. There was only a little bit of lamp in front of him, and in that little bit of lamp, he sat like a stone image in the flesh. Okay, he was of course sitting like image, but he was of flesh. Okay, he was human, so he was telling that he sat there like a stone image in the flesh. I felt then the great presence of the creator of this world and this universe. God was there. Suppose I say something and he did not like it. I tried in my imagination to write in bright letters outside my little art the words, "Oh God." Okay, so uh, he thought that the present situation, the snake coiling around his left arm, the situation which was just sitting without moving anywhere, is because the god doesn't like to listen to his desires. Okay, he desired of something, no, to become handsome, to make him more handsome, to marry a the fat woman and all. So the god might have not liked my desires. That's why the god had made this type of situation for me, and he wanted to write outside of it, "Oh God." Okay, so there was some pain in my left arm. It was as if a thick laden rod, no, a rod made of molten fire, was slowly but powerfully crushing my arm. The arm was beginning to be drained of all strength. What could I do? Okay, so as I was thinking like this, the snake around his left arm was making it more tight. Okay, the around his arm it is making more tight, and the blood veins might be slowing down to supply the blood. So because of that, he was getting little bit of pain. Okay, it was crushing his arm, but he has nothing to do there. After my slightest movement, the snake would strike me. Okay, at my slightest movement, the snake would strike me. If he moves a little bit, the snake would, snake in the sense, the bite him. So death lurked 4 inches away. Lurked in the sense the death was the death is just waiting like this, 4 inches away. Suppose it stuck. What was the medicine what was the medicine I had to take? There were no medicines in the room. I was but a poor, foolish, and stupid doctor. I forgot my danger and smiled feebly at myself. Okay, so finally, he was just imagining, if a snake bites me, oh, what should I do now? They have to take medicine, but I don't have medicine. And he was smiling to himself. Okay, that's why he's calling himself as stupid. Okay, as foolish. Okay, why? Though there is a lot of danger in front of him, he is smiling at himself. So it seemed as if God appreciated that. The snake turned its head. It looked into the mirror and saw its reflection. I do not claim that it was the first snake that had ever looked into a mirror. So when he was just doing like this, the God also he thought that God appreciated him because there was something. Why? What was that? The snake turned its head. Okay, so when he was, till then the snake was facing himself. Now he turned it head in the sense completely back, Pisha mode. Okay, so when he turned back, obviously he will be looking into the mirror. The snake will be looking into the mirror. Okay, and he also said that I think it is the first time that the snake is looking into the mirror, but it was certain that the snake was looking into the mirror. Okay, but it was real. So was it admiring its own beauty? So he was asking questions for himself. Is it praising, admiring in the sense, is it praising himself, okay, of his beauty? Just till now I praised myself. Is it praising himself just like that? Was he trying to make an important decision about growing a mustache or using eyeshadow and mascara or wearing a vermilion spot on its forehead? So you see how long the sentence is. Okay, he's bringing up all his thoughts, saying that is he thinking to have a beautiful mustache? Is he thinking to have a beautiful lipstick? Is he thinking to have a beautiful eyeshadow? I don't know what is going on. Is he thinking to have a makeup on his face and all? Okay, the doctor has come up with all these doubts, all these thoughts at a time in his mind. Okay, yeah, let us see. So I did not know about anything for certain. What sex was the snake? Was it male or female? Okay, he's getting all these doubts. Just imagine, a snake is just in front of him, he is getting all these doubts. So I will never know. For the snake unwound itself from my arm and slowly slithered into my lap. Okay, so he was asking all these questions, and finally he had nothing to do and he has nothing to say, and he also doesn't know whether it is male or female, nothing. So as he was just thinking of all these things, the snake withered, unwound in the sense, did not wound him anything, and it just slithered again to his lap. Okay, lap in the sense the place no, on the legs. From there it crept onto the table and moved towards the mirror. Okay, from the lap it went towards the mirror. It crept on the table and went towards the mirror. Perhaps it wanted to enjoy its reflection at closer quarters. Okay, till then the snake saw himself by making a round around this doctor's hand. Now it went onto the table. Okay, see here. Okay, so just like this. Okay, so from the chair to in front of the mirror, it just creeped there. Next, so from there it crept. Okay, that is what. Perhaps it wanted to enjoy its reflection at a closer. So he thought that snake wanted to look its beauty in the mirror. So I was no mere image cut in granite. Okay, so I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. Okay, he felt that he was not at all an image, or he was not at all a stone. He suddenly realized that he is a man with the blood and flesh. So still holding my breath, I got up from the chair. I quietly went out through the door into the veranda. From there I leapt, okay, leapt in the sense jumping like anything, okay, leapt into the yard and ran for all I was worth, okay. So as soon as he got up, he just silently, without making any noise, he came out of the house and he started running, okay. So pew, each of us heaved a sigh of relief, okay. Usually we say no when we hear some type of undanger, okay. For example, if anyone is going under any surgery and finally we get the news that the surgery is very successful, we say, oh my god, okay, that is just like pew, okay. So he was everybody was in such a relief there. So all of us lit bds, okay, so all of them lit bds. Again somebody asked, doctor, is your wife very fat? So finally you see this guy is getting another doubt here. He's asking, doctor, is your wife very fat now? No, the doctor said, God willed otherwise, okay. So if God wanted God wanted to give me a beautiful wife or a fat wife, he would have, but he did not give me. My life companion is a thin reedy person with the gift of a sprinter, okay. What are the qualities of his wife? His wife was very thin and reedy person with the gift of what? Sprinter is a runner, okay. For example, this doctor makes any type of joke and runs away, his wife would run along with him, okay. So someone asked, doctor, when you ran, did the snake follow you? Doctor replied, I ran and ran till I reached a friend's house. Immediately I smeared oil all over myself and took bath. I changed into fresh clothes. The next morning, all at about 8:30, I took my friend and one or two others to my room to move my things from there. So what happened when the other person asked, doctor, did the snake follow you? The doctor replied, I don't know, Baba. How can I, see, turn back and see whether the snake was there? As soon as I came out of the house, I continuously ran, and finally I reached to my friend's house, and there I applied oil and all to my body, and I took bath. And next in the morning, he took his friend and some others also to his room to see what was there. But we found we had little to carry, okay. So they found only few things there. Why? Something happened. Some thief had removed most of my things. The room had been cleaned out, but not really. The thief had left behind one thing as a final insult, okay. So see here, so there was a theft in his room, and everything was cleaned by the thief, and there was only one thing left. What was that? What was that? There was only one thing, the vest, okay. What was that? I asked. The doctor said, my vest, okay. The dirty vest is hung there, no, to the wall, white one, that one. The fellow had such a sense of cleanliness. The rascal could have taken it and used it after washing it with the soap and water. Did you see the snake the next day, doctor? So he finally said, see, that fellow left this insult on my face because it is so much of dirty, and because of that the thief did not steal that. And the fellow could have taken my vest also and washed it and wore it. See, he had left some insult on my face, okay. The other guy asked, doctor, after the morning, after the next day, did you see the snake again? The doctor laughed. I have never seen it since. It was a snake which was taken with its own beauty, okay. So the doctor said, no, no, no. And he also a little bit laughed, and he said, I have never seen it again, because it was a snake which was taken with its own beauty. What was that meaning? In the sense, the snake might have been afraid of its own image. Usually we are afraid of snake, no? So what happens if the snake sees itself? Okay, that would have been more terrible situation for a snake. So he just have had a little bit of laugh and said, see, it had seen its beauty in the mirror, right? So looking at its own beauty, it would have died somewhere, okay. So that was the reply he had given. So it is written by Vaiko Muhammad Bashir. It was translated by V. Abdullah. Let us see a little bit about the writer here. So Vaiko Muhammad Bashir was born on 21st Jan 1908 and died on 5th July 1994. Was a Malayalam fiction writer from the state of Kerala in India. So he's from Kerala, from our country. So he was a humanist, freedom fighter, novelist, and short story writer. He is noted for his own for his down to earth style of writing, okay. Down to earth, that is a style of writing, okay. Down to earth is a style of writing in stories, novels, and fictions. yeah, down to earth style of writing that made him equally popular among literary critics as well as the common man. So he was very much popular because down to earth in the sense even the poor person could understand it, and also a very intellectual person also is very happy to read that that stories, that novels, fictions and all. So because of that, he is called as a down to earth writer. Next, he is regarded as one of the most successful and outstanding writers from India. Next, translations of his works into other languages have won him the worldwide acclaim. Okay, so he was praised by all over the world because of his works in other languages also. So the story The Snake and the Mirror was translated into English. So his notable works include Balaya Kalakashi, so Shabdangal, Matilukal, and Anuraga Nimisham. So he was awarded the Padma Shri in 1982. So he is fondly remembered as the Baipur Sultan. Okay, so he was strongly remembered as the Baipur Sultan. It might be just like his nickname. Okay, so this we shall complete our reading A of Unit 1 of ninth class. So we shall go through the reading B and C in the next videos, and I will be continuing my classes. To get the notifications of my classes, just please subscribe this channel so that you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. So we shall take a leave now. So see you all in the next video. God bless you. Have a good day.